What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, but today we're not talking about a blade. Today we're going to talk about a firearm accessory that is super duper important if you choose to carry a firearm for self-defense, and that is a good firearm holster. What we've got here on the tabletop today at Baz on Blades is another finely made holster from Bradec Holsters. BradecHolsters.com, and their contact information will be in the description section and in the pinned comment in the comments section. This is not the first piece of product from Bradec that I have owned or had in front of the camera. Many of you will remember the holster that I got for my Taurus G2C. Fantastic holster, fantastic. Love that holster. So this holster is for my Taurus GX4. I love this little pistol. I wanted a very high quality holster for it, and I knew that Bradec over at Bradec Holsters would soon be making one of these for the GX4. And the reason I know that is because I bugged the literal shit out of him. He has got a form on his website where you can put in requests for firearms, and I was going every day for weeks. And finally, he sent me an email and he was like, leave me the hell alone. I'm working on it right now. And I was like, fantastic. So he sent me an email, let me know it's ready to roll and on the website, and I ordered right away. And I'm happy to report it is fantastic, just like the one for my Taurus G2C. Let's pull this GX4 out of this holster. We're going to drop the magazine out of it. We've got a clear magazine. We've got a clear firearm. Put that back in there. Reholster that firearm, and we're going to take a look at this holster. And it is a pretty basic IWB holster design. I've got it set up for appendix carry right hand. Let's talk about a price on these holsters. Brace DeClerc over at Bradec Firearms. I don't know what his business model is, but according to his prices, I have to imagine that he lives on the street and his children do not have shoes, because the prices on these holsters, the prices are ridiculously low for the quality. I mean, laughably low for the quality. These holsters are as well made as any holster out there that I have seen from anybody. This holster starts at $26 in a standard Kydex color, and we'll go over all the Kydex options here in just a minute. This particular example, I paid a little bit of extra, like $3 or whatever, for the carbon fiber pattern Kydex, and then $5 option for the claw, which I highly recommend and will demonstrate here in just a minute. Out the door, shipped to me, this holster was about $35. That is half or less than half what other holster makers are charging for the same exact product. Some of them not quite as well made. So what we've got here is an IWB holster. Again, I've got it set up for appendix carry, and while we're going to talk about that, let's go ahead and showcase a product from another maker, manufacturer, supplier, company, and that is the wedge that I have on this holster. I have never run a wedge on a holster before. I will say right now, it is a much different feel that you need to get used to, but it does exactly what it says, and I will demonstrate that as well. I got this wedge from a company called Mastermind Tactics. Their contact information and website will also be in the description section and in the pinned comment, and I'm very happy with the quality of their product. They sell multiple different kits of wedges and pillows. They've got 5 different kits of pillows, different designs, and then they've got like a 3-in-1 where you can try different designs together. As far as the closed cell foam wedges go, they've got 4 different. They've got 3 different wedge cuts, and then they've got a kit that features 1 of each. When you buy one of the kits of their wedges, you will get 3 wedges. Now, these wedges are, again, in a closed cell foam. It is pretty firm, okay? It's not hard, but it is firm. They will already have one side of the industrial strength adhesive Velcro applied to it. You get 3 pieces along with your 3 wedges of the other side of the Velcro. What you do is you're going to apply that Velcro to your holster on the inside. You want to get that wedge down there even with the muzzle of the pistol, and then you're just going to Velcro it on, and you're going to trial fit and finish with, or trial for fit and feel with it and see the best location, the most effective location. Now you're going to notice this wedge is flat. It's just a tad over about 1/2 inch thick. And what I showed you was the more wedge shape. And what I found out was this was the entirely wrong product for me. It was much too aggressive for me. So I took a knife and I sliced it down and got this flat, what they call a pad. And you can get a 3-pack of in the flat, okay? They've got 2 different wedge shapes. Then they've got the flat. You get a 3-pack of each of them, or you can get a variety pack that's got 1 of each, and you can try them out. And they are not very pricey at all. You're looking at about 16 or 17 bucks for a 3-pack. And from the way this is wearing, I would imagine a 3-pack would last about 3 years for my carry, which is if I'm not at work, I'm carrying. Now, granted, sometimes I carry outside the waistband, like if I'm at home, I'm not going out and don't need to conceal. But I think that $16 for a 3-pack of those, including all the Velcro and everything, is a pretty decent deal. Again, that's Mastermind Tactics. Their information will be in the description section and the pinned comment. So back to this Bradec holster. There's not a lot I can say about a holster, except I want to show you how cleanly molded this holster is. Everything. I want you to look right down this sight rail ridge here. Now, this is an extended sight rail, which gives you plenty of room for aftermarket sights that may be taller. In fact, the holster is not set up for a pistol with suppressor, so it is not made for that. But I think that this rail would be almost tall enough for some suppressor height sights. So I don't think that any regular aftermarket sight like the Ameriglow made tritium sight that's on my GX4, I don't think any aftermarket sights are going to be an issue. That's plenty enough height there. But I want you to look at the way the light is being reflected at the absolute radius peak of this ridge. Look at how straight and crisp that is. Everything about this holster is the same way. Brace does his own 3D molds. He prints his own molds, so he has absolute control. He's not using a mold made by somebody else. It's going to be generic. He can design his molds per pistol exactly the way he wants them done, very precise, and I'm sure he's using vacuum molding setup. He's not using just a press like I would out in my shop, because his work is very deeply molded. The retention point is deeply molded. Everything is crisp and clean. It looks fantastic. It fits fantastic. The only play in this, once you insert the pistol, and this play can be dialed out if you want to ratchet up the retention, is there is just the tick. It is just the tick. And what that is is that is just the tick you need to keep this Kydex from absolutely rubbing against all the surface of this pistol. You do not want it just to be a total rub point going in and out of the holster. You want your retention to be around the trigger guard. That's the way the system is set up, so you've got your adjustable tension here. This is the same way if you're molding Kydex for a knife sheath. It is the same way. You would take your knife, you would put one layer of tape. I use blue painter's tape on your knife blade, and that thickness of that tape is the offset you want on the blade, because you don't want the blade rubbing on the Kydex moving in and out. You want the retention at the retention point, and then everything else to be close fitted enough to prevent play and rattling. And that's what you get here in this holster. The retention is extremely crisp, guys. Let's go in here slow. We're right down. You can see the trigger guard here is entering into the retention point. And let's look and see how that retention point is shaped. And it is a very consistent side to side. It's absolutely consistent. And here is your retention on it. Very crisp, very clean, very audible snap going into that retention point, and the fit is fantastic. I cannot brag enough on how well these holsters are done. And again, like everything else, I don't have any business relationship with Bradec Holsters at all, other than the relationship of a customer that pays full price just like anybody else. I paid full price for this holster, even though compared to other makers, it's about half price. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you've got a much more expensive Kydex holster in your possession that is this type of build, take it out and look at it. Compared to this holster, what you're seeing on video, this is as finely made as anything I have seen, regardless of price. Now, let's talk about some features here. Brace sets up his holsters with dual retention adjustment, and that allows you more fine-tuning of the retention over what you would get in a holster with just a single adjustment point. Single adjustment points to me become more of a leverage point, in that the holster wants to move around that leverage point. So if you tighten it down a lot and it starts tightening down on your trigger guard, a lot of times it will spring the top of the holster open, because again, you're wedging around one point. If you've got 2 points of retention adjustment, you can stop that. Plus, it allows you, you've got 2 points to adjust to refine a much finer feel for your retention. And it does make a difference whether one or more, the other of these screws is tighter than the other one. You can fine tune that point of drag going in and out of the holster and retention off of the retention point. I very much like that, and it makes for a much more stable mounting point that is required when you run a claw or a wing. And I do have that option on this holster. I tried it out for the first time on my Taurus G2C holster, and it works very well. I'm going to show you right now what it does. Say this holster is in your waistband, IWB, appendix carry, right hand carry, and you are looking down at your waist. This is what you will see. Your belt goes around your waist. It goes through the belt clip here, and it snugs the holster into your body. The thing about that is your body is round. The holster is not round. And then compounding that is your pistol is not round. Look at the difference here. The pistol is flat. Your body is round. Some of us more round than others. What this claw does, this wing is, as your belt passes through the belt loop, it comes over, it passes over the wing. When you tighten your belt down, it presses down on the wing and it causes that holster to cant. And it pulls the grip into your body, into your curved body, your round body, into the curvature of your body. And it helps to hide that one point out here, that telltale point on your grip that is the dead giveaway for concealed carry. Now, second to that, I added the wedge from Mastermind Tactics. And what that does is it leverages on a different plane. It pushes against your body down here and pushes the grip into your body. So again, if you're looking down at your waist and you're seeing this, you've got the wing or claw that brings that grip in, the tip of the grip here, into your body, because your body is round. It brings it in, and then the wedge pushes it in like this. I can put this pistol in this holster on with a fitted t-shirt and you cannot see it. Now, I'm not a little skinny guy. I'm like 5'10", 179 pounds right now. I've got a 34-inch waist. So I'm not what you would call cut or buff or anything like that. This will absolutely hide this smaller firearm on my body. The good thing is, even the slightly larger G2C, it does the same thing, even though I have not added the wedge to this holster, so it is not quite as effective. I may add a wedge to that as well, even though since I got the GX4, I hardly ever carry the G2C appendix carry. I more often carry it outside the waistband in a pancake style holster. So let's see. We've got this sort of standard Phobie fiber reinforced injection molded clip here. I love these clips. They're absolutely my favorite. The reason is they are stable if used in the right way. They're very stable for carry. It is easy to take this holster with the firearm in it in and out of my waistband one-handed on demand. Okay, if I've ever got to remove it, I can reach down with one hand. I can just pull this holster and firearm out together. I love these clips. Now, you may have a different holster build and prefer a different type of clip, and that's all fine, good, and well. But in this instance, with this compact of a holster, this type of build, I think it works very well. Let's see here. We will pull this pistol back out. We're running out of things to talk about here. Let's talk about fit and finish. We're going to look around the edge of this holster. You can see the way the edge of this holster, it is not abrupt. It is rolled over. It is very, very cleanly done and very well cleaned up. The holster design as far as safety goes, you've got complete coverage of your trigger guard. There's absolutely no way in hell you are ever going to get your finger into that trigger guard, yet you also have easy, that's just relaxed, easy access into a full grip, even with this addition of this wing or claw. I still can get right in there, zero issues at all. I am in a full grip on that pistol. I can pull it out instantly, and this holster is designed with a higher ride, meaning you can see your belt line right here. Your belt is going to be even with the top part of this clip. So that means your belt's going to come right over here. The grip is far enough up out of your belt that you can get your hand in there. A different type of build would be in this cheaper holster where the clip is much higher on the body of the holster and the grip of the pistol sits much lower. This is what I call a slouch carry holster. This sits much deeper inside the waistband and has It is beneficial in that it sits deeper down in the waistband, but it is a less technical holster. That is why I call it a slouch holster. It is harder to get your hand on the grip of the pistol when using this holster. The Bradec holster is a much more technical holster. If you are more of a technical gunsmith, gun fooing fool, then you would prefer this type of holster. I got to tell you right now, I don't see any reason to spend more for a holster when you can get this quality. I just don't know why. Let me tell you something about this holster. Bradec Holsters offers a lifetime warranty. It says, quote, "You break it, we replace it," end quote. There you go. Half or less than half what anybody else is charging. Just as good a design, just as good or even better in some instances, fit and finish. Many different options. And a lifetime, you break it, we replace it warranty. Get out of here with that. That's crazy. That is a crazy deal. Listen to this. Bradec Holsters has 22 different colors and patterns of kydex available. They've got the claw option at $5. You can get extra belt clips in 1.5 or 1 3/4 inch. You can get extra hardware for it. You add on all of those options, you're only about $40. Like I said, I'm $35 out the door, shipped to my house, ready to rock on this holster. You're not going to beat that. You are absolutely not going to beat that. If I was going to have a holster company, an official holster company of Bazon blades, which I don't because I don't make any money off of things like that, it would probably be this company. I've ordered holsters the last couple of years from probably 6 or 8 different kydex makers, and they're not even worth featuring on the channel. They're not competitive. If the quality is there, the price is twice as much. That, to me, that's not competitive. Let's see. Bazon blades, you're never happy with anything. What would you change about this holster? We're going to get off of the objective and get into the subjective here. So I am going to say this. I will probably, for my particular body, I'm going to take this holster to my grinder and I am going to remove some of this material at the tip here. For my body, because my waist is so short, as I carry this holster and I move and I bend over and I push it out away from my body with my stomach, it causes this to dig a little bit on me because I am so short in that midsection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right off of this radius here at the tip of the claw. I'm going to come right off of that, give it about 1 millimeter, and I'm going to come straight across, and then I'm just going to roll right back up in here. I'm just going to flush that off a little bit, and that'll make that just a little more, slightly more comfortable in some positions for my particular body. You may or may not need to do that. I don't know. But other than that, really everything about this, there's not anything I'd really change about it, I don't think. Perfect sweat shield. Look at the sweat shield, guys. It's not excessive, super clean. It's got full coverage. Look at this, guys. Now, some of you may not like that it doesn't fully cover the magazine ejection. Okay, it doesn't cover the magazine button all the way. And you can see that on both sides because it's got a reversible magazine release on it. The thing is, if you look right here, I want you to look at where the Kydex comes up right here, and it sort of ramps up into a lip. That lip is exactly the same height as this button here. So if anything comes in here and it presses against this, okay, it's pressing against that edge of that Kydex, and that works just like that button is totally covered. I don't see any issue with that. I mean, sometimes when I review holsters, everybody's like, oh, that magazine button's not covered. And then I ask them, have you ever had a magazine eject while the pistol was in the holster? Not one of the people has ever had it happen to them. They've just heard about it happening to somebody else on the internet. That is the truth of the internet. So I don't worry about things like that. I've never had a magazine eject from a firearm while it was in the holster on my body, ever. I mean, ever. And I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours of carrying various different firearms in various different holsters. I've never had that happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying that the chances are it's never happened to you. Chances are it's never happened to you. The only time I've ever seen a magazine eject out of a pistol is while it is presented in a full grip and somebody gets on the magazine release button. So not an issue there. I don't really see anything I would change. Oh, wait a second. Let's talk about something here. It is adjustable cant. Okay, I've got it set up for straight cant, but you can see here this pad on this side is slotted, so you can loosen these screws. You'll pivot around this screw. You can move this clip up and down to present some cant into it. You can go from 0 to 20 degrees. That works very well. Here I've got it 0, straight up and down for appendix carry, but you can go to 20 degrees cant, which will raise the butt. And if you're going to carry in the 430 right behind the hip IWB location, that's what you would want there, so the grip's a little easier to get to. Yeah, all right. Bradec holsters, guys, highly recommended. Will continue to be highly recommended. Brace, again, excellent work. I'm sorry about your kids not having shoes, but I do appreciate the very low price on your fine products. Again, Mastermind Tactics for the wedge kits and all that information. All of it will be in the description section. All of it will be in the pinned comment. And as always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.